everyone for tuning in. I have got one and only Nick Abraham, and for me, he seems to be a person whom I stumbled on Twitter, who pretty much does things in a very witty manner, and he just doesn't bore you from the kind of information what he shares. The reason why so many people follow him is not to just get advice, but also see how they could really improvise their system. So, hey Nick, how are you doing? And thanks for giving me your time. And I think this quick, short discussion with you might give a lot of insights to someone who is starting his own SaaS or MicroSaaS business.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So, could you tell where are you from, what you do, and how you got into this entire activity of lead gen, sales, trying to create systems? Because you seem to be very young, and I think.
Yeah. So, give you a little bit of background on myself. My name is Nick Abraham. I run a portfolio of small agencies as well as SaaS companies. It's a mix of both. Right now, we have about 12 to 13 companies in our portfolio. Been in this space for about 4 to 5 years, and it just failed so much that I was able to learn a lot of cool things on the way. And that's really how I got to where I am right now.
Yeah, sweet. So when you really pretty much got into this domain, how was it? I mean, like, what did you see like others don't see now? Because even I am actually trying to build something, and I am learning on a day-to-day basis. But you seem to be way ahead than us every time. It feels like that. So what's that switch which made you like look at different direction and start thinking in the right way?
Yeah, I mean, it's just always looking to learn and trying to improve things. I've always been like very big on like improvement, whether that's just improving myself, with eating right, going to the gym, types of things. But now it's more of like looking at the business, looking at each individual employee and seeing how we can make their lives easier, and get them to be more efficient and more productive. And it really just comes down to seeing, what are they spending their time doing, right? If they're spending their time sending emails one by one, there's got to be some kind of software out there that automates that, right? And so if that's the case, then what is that software and how can I get it introduced into their lives so that they learn how to use it and become more productive? And so that's kind of how I look at things. And I just look at trying to improve everyone's life within the organization.
Got it. So I think you started on the internet and you tried to use different platforms, you saw different distribution channels. So what according to you should be the right way for any starter to start seeing prospects and see where his audience might like? If you could just share a line or two.
So I mean, it really depends on what your product or service is, but I would always look to just strictly like I would look at who you want to target, right? Who's your ideal customer, right? What industry are they in? What geography are they in? What is their age group? What, how big is their company sizes? What titles are you going after? Just build out that ICP list. And then, if you go on LinkedIn, you can find pretty much anyone and everyone in this space, right? In B2B, that's where I specialize in. And I would literally just call them and ask them and try to get an interview with them, right? And then ask them whatever you're selling, if it's beneficial to someone like in their space, and get their insights from them. And then from there, you've done your market research, right? And then from there, if your product's going to be a good fit for them. And then it's just more about, sending more outbound emails, try to sell people on it before you even, build whatever it is, and see if there's actual interest. And if there is, then, you might have a winning product or a winning service.
Got it. And you seem to be big on automation, right? So like you pretty much are known as the Zapier person. So yeah, can you just relate what you do and why you use Zapier, just so that the audience get an idea, like, okay, they could also go in the similar direction, save a lot of time. I know it's out there, a lot of people are doing it, but hearing from someone doing it on a day-to-day basis might give a different perspective altogether.
Yeah, so I mean, the way I see it is that, I think I can't remember the exact stat, but I believe every company that's below 100 employees is using around 12 different software apps to manage their business. And so when that's the case, if you have 12 different apps and applications kind of like working for your business, if you can combine them all, it just becomes a little bit more efficient, and you'll see yourself saving time. And so that's kind of how I looked at it. And sorry about that, I'm getting a whole bunch of messages. Yeah, that's kind of how I look at Zapier. And then the other thing is that, there's just so many more efficient ways to do things. Like if you really audit your time, you'll notice that a lot of your time is doing a lot of these small minor tasks, which is just, going from app to app, transferring data, things like that. And it really can be automated. It can be automated, and then even if it can be automated, it should be delegated. Like if you look at your time and what you value your time at. So if you're a CEO, a lot of your time should be spent on recruiting, strategizing, and like higher level tasks. A lot of these like data entry, moving things around, kind of doing the fulfillment. Those are things that are, below your pay wage. And so they need to be automated. And most of the time it's usually through Zapier, or they need to be delegated out.
Got it. So it's more about saving time and focusing on the right things. That's why you pretty much use it, but also make proper decisions so that it could really help them in prospecting as well as trying to go behind the right customer set. That's what I think you're pretty much said. So having said that, how do you see in the present generation where the SaaS market is trying to give so much out there and try to tell like every person could use this lead gen tool, this tool, and I'm sure like in coming days you will be releasing your own product also, right? So maybe you are also trying to do the email cold prospecting. So how do you think a decision can be made by a person who is building a SaaS and use this tool to really grow his business? So how do you really take one or two suggestions from you so that it could become easy and we could make a choice, like we could go with this lead gen, we could go with this software and build a proper sales channel or funnel?
Yeah. So, I mean, like in terms of choosing a lead gen tool, it's always changing. It's really, I mean, we change ours probably like once every year if things are, changing, right? And the space changes so much, right? So there's not really a good concrete answer. I think, you just got to keep looking at what some of the people that like, if you know someone in this space that you're in, that's absolutely dominating in terms of sales and lead gen, you want to do what they're doing, right? What tools are they doing, and just replicate it. And so that's kind of how I look at it. Because mostly, if you look at LinkedIn, they've had major changes in the last 6 months. Gmail, today's iOS 15 is releasing. There's going to be massive changes inside of email open rates. And so those are just like two things I could think of off the top of my head that happened in the last 6 months. And so the space is always changing. And so the tools always need to be changing or evolving. And so like, if you ask me, 3-4 years ago, what tool was the best to send cold emails? It would have been like Replyfy or something, right? Versus like right now, which I think it's, Mailchimp or something of that sort, right? And so, tools are always changing, and it also depends, right? Like, depending on how your strategy is for like your prospecting and stuff, tools have different features, right? And so, like one tool we're working on right now is kind of like a bulk cold email sending platform, right? So it rotates through your domains. And so if you have like 10 domains, it'll rotate through each one of them to send out like massive amounts of email, right? And so for some average user that's just sending like a person that's looking to send 10 to 20 emails a day, it's not meant for them, right? And so you got to kind of look at what is your end goal, what is your strategy, and then look to see what tools really fit those two standards.
Got it. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And there are different segments in the market: small business, SMBs, mid market, enterprise, right? And what would let's take an example, like I'm only serving small and SMBs. What would be a starter pack for me, like if I'm building a SaaS product and I have to do a lead gen in my related domains? So how should I really check about it? I mean, like, how should I get started?
Are you asking me how you should do lead gen towards like small, medium-sized businesses,
Yeah,
or?
no, there are tools. Like I'm just linking this question to the previous question because you said like the lead gen tools are changing every time. But I'm now making a choice. So how I can make a choice about the lead gen? Or because I would definitely start it by doing individually on my own, within my own strengths, right? Like I do go via LinkedIn, try to use different platforms and do that. So when should I really choose a lead gen? That should be the actual question.
Mm, when you should do lead gen? I mean, you should do lead gen all the time. It should be going 24/7, right? Like, I mean, I think like the way I look at it, if you're doing like a service-based business, I mean, with SaaS it's different, right? With SaaS, as long as your platform doesn't break down, then you can take on as many customers as you want, right? There's no There's no end to that. But if you're looking at like a service-based business, like an agency, as long as your fulfillment is like completely dialed in and you can handle, pretty much unlimited clients, and all you would have to do is really just scale your hiring and the amount of employees you have, then you should always have lead gen like running in the background. I think the agencies that fail 6 months down the road are the ones that don't consistently prospect and look for new business.
Got it. I think I got my answer. Yeah. So it's pretty well stated. Okay. So what are you doing next? What's your like the coming days? I know like you are coming out with a product, right? So what's your next things? And if you want to share with the audience anything, you could do that.
Yeah. So my next couple moves I'm doing, I mean, we have a couple products that are releasing within the next like 3 to 4 months. And most of them are like 99% complete. And just looking to acquire a couple more agencies before the year ends, and then get a couple more partnership deals done. But yeah, we have Quick Lines releasing today officially. We have Inboxy probably releasing in like 2-3 weeks. Emmy is our email sending platform. That's probably gonna release in like maybe a month, and then we'll have our LinkedIn platform probably before the end of the year, if all goes well. And those are like probably like our biggest products that are releasing in the next couple months.
It's going to be a busy year and exciting year for you.
Yeah,
So
Q
yeah,
is gonna be nice.
yeah. I can see the way you're smiling. I know like you pretty much are going to crush it. So anything you want to share with the audience before we wrap it up, for any starters out there who are looking into SaaS and MicroSaaS space, or any business, you want to share anything in the coming days, how they have to really look at the market, please do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to get into the SaaS space, it's such a new industry. A lot of people are looking to join. A lot of people are joining every single day. Just make sure you find actual people who want to pay for your product before you release it, like sell it before you build it. Because the worst thing you could do is raise money or build a product that nobody wants and waste a lot of time. So, go out and actually ask people if they would actually, purchase it, and try to see if they'll actually pre-order it, right? And then give them some kind of lifetime discount. That's ultimately going to help you win in the long term, right? Because if you spend your time trying to sell a product that nobody wants and has literally no product market fit, then you're going to waste a ton of time trying to make something work that's just never going to work. And that's where 99% of business owners fail. So, market research over everything.
Got it. Yeah. So there it is, guys. It was a very quick fire one. Hope I did not bore you, Nick. I mean, like I was very quick in asking my questions. Thanks for spending time with me, and I hope whatever Nick has shared, please follow it. I'm pretty sure he's the go-to guy. Follow him on Twitter. I would link his handle in the blog, which I will share the write-up what I do. And thanks so much for listening to us. And Nick, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Thanks for
I'm
spending time. Yeah, thanks so much.